Today on TimesCast, an E. coli outbreak in Germany kills at least 15 people. Congressman Anthony Weiner finds that his sharp voice on Twitter can cut two ways.
But that's not a picture of you.
You know, I can't say with certitude.
And a new online sales strategy makes Lady Gaga's new album, Born This Way, the fastest-selling album in 6 years.
The massive E. coli outbreak in Germany has now sickened more than 1,500 people with 17 deaths, which is an extraordinary number for this kind of foodborne illness outbreak. There are also reported to be almost 500 cases of acute kidney failure, which is a very high number as well. Investigators in Germany early on were looking at cucumbers as the possible source, but now they're saying that they're not sure where the E. coli came from, and they're cautioning people about eating fresh tomatoes, cucumbers, and lettuce. The toxic types of E. coli that make people sick live in the guts of cows, and it's said that when you get foodborne illness from E. coli, sooner or later you're going to run into a cow. And that can happen either from people eating contaminated meat, or in many cases produce can become contaminated if manure is used to fertilize fields, or if animals walk through fields, or it can even happen at various points when the food is being processed. The great uncertainty over the source of this bacteria has consumers in Germany and elsewhere extremely worried.
Do you still eat vegetables?
Yes, of course. So we have to eat some vitamins for the children, and we eat strawberries and blueberries, but we don't eat any cucumbers.
Still eating vegetables. I don't change my way of eating. No.
It's definitely real, but I don't really know what to do be honest with you. So I'm kind of sticking to things that don't necessarily grow in the ground, but that are vegetables at the same time, which kind of leaves fruit.
At the start of this weekend, Anthony Weiner's Twitter account sent out a lewd photo of a man sort of bulging in boxer shorts to a 21-year-old college student in Seattle. Anthony Weiner's office, they immediately came out and said his account has been hacked, but he never really denied that the photo was of his crotch.
Here's what I will say. I will say that we're trying to figure out exactly what happened here. Whether a photograph was manipulated that was found in my account, whether something was dropped into my account.
Anthony Weiner's Twitter account has always been notable for a congressman. It's always had sort of a more candid and more feisty tone than you expect from a member of Congress. Also, he's become something of a YouTube sensation. A lot of his speeches on the House floor, even TV interviews, they're animated.
I will not yield to the gentleman, and the gentleman will observe regular order.
It's also one of the reasons why even before, people always expected that on Twitter Anthony Weiner might get himself in a little bit of hot water. And he always loves the press and being out in front of the media, and he's been making himself available even about this scandal. Yesterday, he was pressed by a CNN reporter and producer, and he sort of didn't answer the question, and the whole press conference ended fairly badly.
We're going to have to ask that we follow some rules here, and one of them is going to be U.S. questions. I believe the answers. That seem reasonable.
Gawker also set up a tip line for people to email in tips if they've received a lewd photo or anything else, and it's quickly becoming a media frenzy. This story could either fade away, or someone else could come forward and say they've received an inappropriate Twitter message from him. But either way, it's sort of an interesting moment for Anthony Weiner because he's someone who has really harnessed social media to his advantage, and now he's sort of seeing the ways in which it can also come back to bite you.
My mama told me when I was young, we're all born superstars.
There's an asterisk on Lady Gaga's extraordinary sales this week of her new album. Amazon.com sold the digital version of the album for 99 cents. And they did that without telling the record company or Lady Gaga's management. And they also paid the record company the full price for the album, which in wholesale is about $8 or $9. That means that Amazon.com paid something like $3 million to promote itself and sell this album at a discount. So why would Amazon.com spend $3 million to promote Lady Gaga? The answer is that they're actually promoting themselves and their new cloud music service called Cloud Drive.
This is how it works. When you buy music on Amazon MP3, you can have it saved to Amazon Cloud Drive.
They're competing with Google and Apple, and they obviously calculated that it was worth $3 million, or roughly the cost of a Super Bowl commercial, to advertise this new service and make Lady Gaga sort of a pawn in that. She's a legitimate superstar, and they knew that she would attract a lot of attention to their offer.